In southern parts of the state as well as Kentucky. We're keeping a close eye on some things now as flash flood warnings being issued. A new one just issued for parts of southern West Virginia. Let's get right into it there. Now, this one in eastern Kentucky, Pike County right there in Floyd County, Kentucky. Impact out here. You want the sunscreen if you're outside at all today. Now, behind me, it is Kids Day out here. Look how packed it is with all the kids here. Now, what we found out, I was actually having a conversation with you of Hurricane Irma still tracking to the west, and you can see just how much power this storm has with it. Let's take a look at the projected track here. On Greenbrier Street, notice the road behind me, not too bad. The good thing to see, people going slow out here, taking their time. The cold fields, but again, with these rounds of showers coming through, you lose that energy in the atmosphere, and you can see just how many lightning strikes there were a few hours ago. Compare that to now.
Eyewitness News meteorologist Nick Patrick joins us live along Route 60, one of the hardest hit areas. Nick, what are you seeing where you are?
Hey, Dave. Yeah, we are finally starting to see some of this storm damage continue to emerge as the sun is starting to come out now. Lots of clouds here, but look at this tree behind me, split basically in half from those strong gusty winds.
It's like it's been sailing.
Yes, most of us right now are in the absolute clear when it comes to what we're seeing as far as the radar goes. We do have one spot. I wanted to show you this. There it is, way up north, though, near Pomeroy. That's been a very slow-moving little cell popping up there. It's just now starting to make its way into West Virginia. Shouldn't be a problem for most of us once again. In fact, let me show you over the last 3 or 4 hours. Sun actually coming out now, but behind me, back to the north, you can see that heavy rainfall making its way through. And Jim was just talking about it. Very quick moving storm. Since we've been out here, we started off very cloudy. We had some rain as well, but then the sun started to go back. And as we look back towards the northwest, you can see that really the sun's starting to come out and starting to heat things up. That's not what we want to see anytime we start to see these thunderstorms pop up. This is just going to add to that instability we've seen throughout the afternoon here in the next 3 hours. In fact, we have a few severe thunderstorm warnings popping up there in Tennessee. You can see some early rotation here. Hail, though, that's going to be our biggest problem. You can see this system starting to form up, and it's going to be short-lived. The heaviest of this right around 4 o'clock. The lightning's popping, though. We're keeping an eye. That severe thunderstorm warning here back in Kentucky just issued about 2 minutes ago. And forecast showing that comfortable weather sticking around for, wouldn't you believe it? Yeah. Thursday and Friday night, we're talking about high school football. It's already back. Of course, we'll keep you covered there. We'll have our Friday Night Football Extra and the Friday Night Game of the Week here on WCHS. Muggy, dreary Thursday and a wet Thursday. There's a lot more rain to talk about here for the rest of the afternoon and the overnight hours, and that is why we are under a Storm Team Severe Weather Alert day for today through tomorrow morning, especially flash flooding going to be our main threat here, and mainly in the mountains, which is the less populated region, of course, which is a good thing, but that still means a lot of people are going to be dealing with this flood threat. So we have certainly been keeping an extra eye on those river levels. Right now they look okay, but a lot more rain to come. And we certainly are going to put some extra weather awareness out there near those streams and those creeks. If anything changes throughout the day, you can always go over to our website, WCHSTV.com/weather. But the best way to get those updates, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, where you get those live up-to-date reports as they come into us. We get them out to you. And the rivers we're keeping a very close eye on through the afternoon. The Cherry River, the New, the Gauley, the Tigard, the Greenbrier, and the Cheat River are all going to be kind of at that red alert level later on, especially with how much rain there's been in the mountains. That runoff, even if you don't have a lot of rain in your area, it still could be an ongoing concern. So that's kind of where our focus is at the moment. Not a lot of rain in the area at the moment, though. Just that cloud cover. Really muggy outside, heat and humidity sticking around through the afternoon. That's going to be fuel for these storms as they start to bubble up here in the afternoon. Some heavy pulses to the south could be what drives in some of this rain. So far, looks okay on the radar. Some light showers here and there through pretty much the I-77 corridor here, but it's east of Route 19. That's where we're keeping our closest eye on. So basically Fayette County, Nicholas County, parts of Braxton and Webster County are going to be our concern. But the closer you are to the mountains, that is going to be the higher risk areas throughout the afternoon. Now the radar does show a break here. But look just to the south, folks, as we see much more showers. You can see just there in North Carolina as those storms are starting to build into the afternoon. That energy is sliding our direction here. So that is why we still have a long way to go before we can give the all clear as far as that flood threat. Now, the Futurecast here, the latest runs showing the rain starting to intensify here in the afternoon. Looks like right now between 4 and 6 o'clock, a little break, but then overnight we have more rain heading this direction. So that is why we have to be extra cautious tomorrow morning, I think, as we head out that door. Heavy downpours overnight could mean standing water. And notice, 2 o'clock in the morning, a lot of us are asleep and in our homes, but still, if you have to get out early tomorrow morning, it could cause some issues. So flash flood threat is going to be ongoing. Reason for it, we just have this pipeline of moisture right now. Look at this, all the way in the Gulf of Mexico right now, just this way things are set up, area of high pressure to the east, area of low pressure to the west, just driving in that rain. And that is going to mean the excessive rainfall here. As far as the totals go overall, through today, this has been trending down. Obviously a good thing because that means those rain chances are diminishing. But through Saturday, still more rain to come. And if we get over that 2-inch threshold, I think that's going to be when we start to get those big problems in the area. So keep that in mind. Rain chances after today into tomorrow afternoon look much, much better. Saturday, dry. Finally, we start to dry out a little bit more on Monday here, but temperatures are going to ramp up as we dry out as well. So it is a catch-22. We lose some of that moisture, but we keep the heat and humidity. It's going to feel like August here through Monday. But again, if you follow us on social media here for those latest. Welcome back here on this Saturday evening. We've been following some strong thunderstorm activity here over the past several hours. It has calmed down slightly, but severe thunderstorm warnings just to the west. We are dealing with the flash flood warnings right there in parts of Kentucky. Here's why. We've had close to 4 inches of rain there near Vanceburg and close to 3 inches in Grayson right there. So Carter County, Lewis County, Kentucky, both seen pretty much a pipeline of rain coming from north to south. We've had that training effect where we have rain over the same area moving, but it sits over one spot, and that's why we have that flood threat. Several storm reports over the last 24 hours coming in right on that line I was talking about, all flash flooding. Of course, the Carter County Fair being evacuated. We saw that earlier in the show. Head over to our Facebook page if you want to know more about that. Portsmouth, hail. That was earlier in the day when a strong cell moved in, and it has prompted several severe thunderstorm warnings. Now, what's going on right now? Some more heavy rain in this area. Unfortunately for Lewis County, Kentucky, we don't need any more rain right here, but some more heading our way. This has lost just a little bit of punch over the last half hour, but you'll notice it is sliding south and east, so it looks like it's going to hit I-64 right now in about the next half hour or so. Be aware that if you are already in a spot that's had some flooding, this could exacerbate it and cause more problems. Scheduled to hit Grayson, but that'll just edge it. I don't think it'll quite hold together long enough to get to Grayson, Kentucky, but with the flash flood threat still there, be aware that we will be keeping an eye on this. And here's why we had that flash flooding. Heavy, severe thunderstorms, a break right now, but there's this next round coming in that moved through Cincinnati. Even though the atmosphere has been fairly worked over, still enough energy for these storms to form up right along the I-64 corridor, Putnam County, Kanawha County. Here we have seen some rain, but that's it. Nothing like what they've had out west. So we're keeping our eye on Kentucky and Ohio. For the rest of the evening, not a whole lot of action developing north in Ohio, which is good news here. We don't expect anything major overnight. Futurecast right now, it did a pretty good job with this pinpointing when the rain was going to move in, so that's the good news. By 9 o'clock, things are calming down, but still rain in that area. We make it to the overnight hours. Now watch this. A little bit of energy left over. Hits the turnpike right here, right around 5, 6 in the morning. So if you're out early tomorrow morning, heading south or north along the turnpike, be aware you could run into some showers that could slide into parts of the state fair as well. Unfortunately, for Fairleigh, West Virginia here, it doesn't look like it'll be the driest time. I-64 north looks much calmer here as we head into Sunday afternoon. But if you're south of I-64 and east of I-77, that looks like it is going to be the best chance to see some showers in the afternoon. And before we start to calm down, just a little bit of leftover rain there for Sunday evening. Sunday right now, not terrible, but it is going to still be one of those days where we have those hit or miss storms. So 66 degrees tonight. A few overnight storms south, and then we start to get quiet I-64 and northward. Wet start for the fair, and that could continue here. And as we look towards the rest of next week, best chance for some dry days look like Tuesday and then next week.